Hey guys, and thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we'd really appreciate it if you do. Today we're going to take a look at some factory Subaru wheels that we purchased used that had been Plastadipped and show you how to take that Plastadip off the best way that we found. Here's what the factory Subaru Impreza wheels look like without Plastadip on them. And then this is what they looked like when we first got them. Several of them had issues on the lip where the tire machine had rubbed the Plastadip, so we figured we'd just go on and take it off.
So you can't be afraid of the Plastadip. Like, that's rule number one. You're just gonna have to get in and stretch it and tear it as you remove it from the wheel. So I try to start from the outside edges, and they look really bad right now, but I have nails, and so I just kind of put my nail underneath it just to kind of like flip it up a little bit, and then just start tearing it from there and just go down each one. And like I said, you can't be afraid of it. You just have to like stretch it and tear it, and you're not going to get all of it on the first go around, and if we do, we'll show you here in a minute how it is right now, because not all of it's off. I mean, you see the surface and it looks good, but if you look really closely, there's some over here that I haven't gotten yet. And I think mostly it's because when they sprayed the Plastidip, the top got more layer than the in-betweens, and so the in-betweens are really flimsy, and so they're not as easy to get off as the top portions are.
So you can see there's an excess of a thin coat of the Plastadip still on these spokes and in all these nooks and crannies, as well as within all the lug nut holes. All this is still Plastadip. The rubber gloves have helped kind of get it started on some of the edges as well, since that gets a good amount of friction and has a good purchase. The other thing that's really helped is using some Goo Gone. I don't think it'd have to be the gel version, but what we did is poured some of this into the cup. Got one of these foam brushes, and all these thin spots right here where there's still the black on there, this will help get that loosened up. So it's going to dissolve that Plastadip. We've done this on a couple of rims already, and it didn't have any ill effect on the paint at all, but we're not leaving it on there for days either. I'm going to get this in kind of all the nooks and crannies, the inside of every spoke, both sides. All these lug nut holes have a little thin coat in them as well, so we're just going to go ahead and get all this nice and soaked. We're going to be real liberal with it.
The lug nuts themselves actually also had Plastidip on them, so we took them all and just placed them in another cup like that and poured in more Goo Gone. And I think they sat in there for a little while, but they just came off. It came off like a breeze, and they look brand new.
So once you've got a really good coating on all your edges, you want to go all the inside as well, since I'm sure they oversprayed inside here. And once you've got it soaked up well enough, just let it sit for like 10 or 15 minutes, just enough to let it start dissolving that Plastadip. Then we'll come back through with a shop towel, get all the residual off. It's just going to basically be jelly when we go back to it.
All right, so we're back. It's been about 10-15 minutes since we did the Goo Gone. We've got some black gloves on because it can get really messy, and then we've got shop towels. You could use paper towels, anything you've really got at your disposal. And then we're just going to wipe around. I'm going to start with the edge here, so we're going to wipe around, and it just comes off really easily. Kind of becomes like jelly, and so you can just go around the wheel and just keep at it. And I'm gonna go through the spokes now and just kind of just put some elbow grease into it, just kind of rub it down, and if it doesn't come off, that's okay. You know, you can go back with the Goo Gone and try again. It's not all, it may not all come off on one fell swoop, and that's okay. So now we're going to focus on the lug nut hole. So I'm going to take the shop towel and I'm going to kind of roll it up a little bit, and I'm going to put it down there and leave a little hanging out so you have kind of a handle, and then push down and twist, and voila, all of that came off. That's all the plastic dip that was inside that. You may need to go through it again, but that's okay. Like I said before, it may take multiple times to get everything.
So here's our final product. You can see the paint's in really good shape and the Goo Gone didn't affect it at all. There are some light scratches on this spoke and a couple of the spokes. I'm sure that was from before they were dipped from the previous owner. If you plan on dipping them again, just go on and rinse them off really well with water to get rid of any residual Goo Gone, and then let them dry really well before you dip them. If you're going to keep them undipped, you might need to buff them to get some of those surface scratches off as well. If you buy a car with dipped wheels, or buy wheels that have been previously dipped and you're going to remove it, just don't assume that the finish underneath is going to be great. You may have to re-dip them to get them to look how you want. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have anything you want to add, tips or tricks, please put that in the comments as well. I'm always glad to learn something new. Thanks.